Okay, so this is vlog number 7, I think. I'm going to be really quiet because everyone's sleeping, but James didn't want to do a vlog today. He's shattered, to be fair, it's 11:30. He's had a rough day, so yeah, but I just wanted to keep this ticking over because the idea, I guess, was to always have this memory to look back on and to how I was feeling each day. To be fair, this is the worst part of the day. There's no real good time to do a vlog because at the end of the day is actually when you have the time, and all we want to do is go to bed and eat in the wrong order. Go to bed and eat and then go to bed. My brain's all over the place. And especially after like 100 odd miles of cycling, I'm doing it in the bathroom today because out in the living room James was sleeping, and then out in the other room Dave is sleeping. Thank you so much to David for hosting us. I'm not sure he'll be watching this because I'm not sure how much he uses social media, but he really kindly stayed up. We ended up arriving really late today at about 9:30, and it's still here with the beers cold, all ready for us, and it was a really welcome sight when we came into Missoula today. So yeah, a few things after from the last vlog which we forgot was the lake was very kindly reminded by my mum. It was called Lake Coeur d'Alene, or Coeur d'Alene. I'm not really sure if it's like pronounced American because it's in America, or French because it's French words. And what was the other thing in Wallace? Oh yeah, day before yesterday, day before that even, going to Spokane. The reason I ended up spending almost like $100 on, more than $100 on new tyres and inner shoes was that I got my 4th puncture in 3 days. Coming into Spokane, and that was like 10 o'clock at night. I just rode in it for like an hour. Had a thick inner tube though, so just about survived, but that was why I just had to get new tyres at the bike shop and invest in that, because they actually had Kevlar inner lining, which is awesome because it's basically reinforced, and it means that it's part of the tyre, so it doesn't like cause friction with the inner tube, which is what messed up my last one. And also we saw a graduation party in Wallace, which was a pretty cool instance. We were literally driving by, and and just before we reached the hotel, there's this graduation ceremony going on, which was really weird because we'd driven past a few high schools and stuff, but never actually seen much going on. So yeah, but the last vlog we left you just as I was finishing the most expensive bag Doritos I've ever bought. It was about $5, and that was my dinner. And James got some Maltesers for dinner. Gosh, he can get away with eating so little. Really quite jealous because I end up forking out so much on food just to keep me going. And yeah, we set off at woke up fairly early, set the alarm for 6:30. I ended up spending ages getting out the door, but the breakfast was like fruit and like Nutri-Bars, and so we took a load of Nutri-Bars with us to keep us going for the day, and headed out the door, loaded up on a bit of a sugar high because of that. Not much in the way of a good breakfast for the day of cycling. But anyway, yeah, set off. The hotel was lovely, really kindly upgraded us to a double room as we told you, and saw us out the door and on our way, and was brilliant. And we decided that we'd actually take a little detour up to Thompson Falls and then kind of southeast to Missoula instead of going straight east to Missoula, because it was the same distance and it looked like it was mainly roads. Whereas the bike trail that it took us on said it was trails, and after all our gravel experiences we didn't want any of that, so we were cycling up to Thompson Falls. And bear in mind as well, this was 6,000 feet of elevation over the. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. Sorry, it sounded like someone knocked. Yeah, so like 6,000 feet of elevation that day and 5,500 of decline, and there's a little more elevation going this way, but we thought it'd be worth it because it'd all be roads. And anyway, we were cycling along, gorgeous little creek running through. We're literally, Wallace was called the gateway to the Rockies. So we were in the Rockies now, and there was snow at the top of the mountains, and it also called itself the centre of the universe. And I'm not sure if that was ironic or not, but yeah. And we went through a town called Black Bear, and after our encounter with black bears, that sent shivers off our spine. But aside from being chased by yet another dog, that wasn't anything to be worried about. And that's become a bit of a regular occurrence now. More than anything on these roads, I'm scared for the dogs of getting run over, because they just hurtle after you with no regard for their own safety. And we went to then we went through this town called Cornwall, which brought back fond memories of the UK, a better place. And we went through then we went through this town called Burke, which was absolutely deserted. It was like a historic what's it called, hydroelectric kind of town, and it was completely deserted and run down and like spray painted, no trespassing all over the place. And it was like something out of a zombie apocalypse movie. It's really, really eerie. But anyway, went on past there, and the road turned into, the highway kind of turned into this like potholed road. And we got further and further along, it turned into gravel and then to a dirt track. We looked at each other, we were like, no, we can't do this. This is just, this is exactly what we took the detour to avoid. And so we asked, and apparently went on like that for 10 miles before you hit the highway. And we weren't walking all that way, there wasn't a chance. So we decided that we go all the way back down to Wallace and just take the I-90, because the I-90 is only 120 miles from Wallace to Missoula, and the bike trail is 140 roughly, and so we came back down to Wallace, and that's an extra 20 miles already at the start of the day. It was about about 10 by this point, so it was a really, really late start, 120 miles ahead of us, just the worst possible start to the day, and that made it a total of 140 miles, which was the longest day that we've ever done. And not only that, but probably the longest day that we'll ever do, 140 miles. The only other day we have planned is 138. So that was really a tough prospect to have ahead of us. Anyway, so we got on our way, and the I-90 was relatively peaceful, which was really nice, especially apparently Montana. Yes, we were in Idaho. And not only that, but crossing the border into Montana, the time zone actually goes forward an hour, so we lost an hour. So actually, when we say what we were down at the bottom of Wallace, again, having done 20 miles for 9:30, that was actually 10:30 Montana time. And on top of that, we had like 3,000, 4,000 feet of incline to do just in the morning, because as Wallace said, it was the gateway to the Rockies, so really, really steep climb, and really, really rough going, but yeah, along this I-90. And we also saw a police car ahead of us. At one point it should obviously pull another car over, and we were terrified, because we'd just come all the way up this hill. We've been climbing it for a good couple of hours now, and we were terrified that the police car would tell us to get off the road. It was this awesome looking Dodge car, but it was we were really scared that we'd be sent all the way back down and off onto another exit. But luckily the police car pulled away just as we were coming up, and we like, phew, breathed a sigh of relief, and topped the hill. And then it said, warning, test your brakes. We're like, yes, there's a big decline coming up that we've worked so hard for. And it was 6% decline for like 3 miles, which was just gorgeous. And we went down, and there's a sign saying Montana, which was really cool. So it crossed yet another border, second border in 2 days. And there was also a sign saying white crosses mark fatalities, and there were far too many white crosses on that road for comfort, which was quite worrying. Apparently it's quite a dangerous section of the highway. Freeway, sorry. And yeah, so lovely descent, and the cars weren't going much faster than us. They took a while to overtake us, which was really exhilarating. Must have been going a fair few miles per hour, making up for lost time. And yeah, we kept on pedaling until we stopped in the town of St Regis, which we were planning to originally stop at, but then decided it was stretched too far with James's knee, and it would have been quite a long day to do that from Spokane. So we stopped there for lunch, I believe, and picked up some sandwiches, and James got some mac and cheese, I got some chicken, and we chilled out there for about 40 minutes, and by that time it was, I think it was 2 when we stopped, and we set back off at about 2:40, and that was very chilled. Good to get some food and rest of the legs, because my knees were then playing up as well. I think we just put down far too many watts the day before cycling along the Coeur d'Alene trail, because it was cold and we were tense, and it just all our muscles started like aching and in all the wrong places. Like my Achilles as well, I didn't even know that existed before this trip. That's now killing me. So we took it really slow, and yeah, it was good to have the rest. And by that time it was really sunny as well, so we put on the sun cream. As you know, James gets burnt even when it's overcast, so it was a joke, James. And we went outside, got outside, already tackled the day, took our coats off. It was lovely. James got changed back into his shorts from his long cycling shorts, and on we went, and it was so dull on the I-90, because actually there are mile markers, and they're quite good because they mark the distance from the last border that you cross, because it's an interstate. So they mark the distance from Montana from the Montana-Idaho border in this case, and it was 100 miles from the border to where we were staying, to the turnoff where we were staying. So watching that tick down was just agony, and yeah, really rough going. Saw some quite cool things along the way though. We saw a bald eagle at one point, kind of screeching, and we got a photo, but it's like really blurry. But it's like this bald eagle, that's awesome, and some vultures as well, and some sort of red kite, and you get some really awesome birds of prey down here. And these rolling plains and the snowy mountains in the background, just gorgeous to cycle through, and not too many cars at all on the road. So actually, it turned out to be alright. Well, there was one section where it was really like gravelly and tarmacy on the hard shoulder, which was quite rough going, but we just about survived that. And we got onto Alderton for our next break. I'm trying to think, there wasn't a lot that happened at all. Yeah, I got into Alderton for our next break, ate like on my last protein bar to keep me going. Really running out of food at this point. Very. Yeah?
Still in there?
Yeah, sorry, just 2 minutes. Sorry, that was the host. That was David. Yeah, okay, right. I'll finish this off really quickly. It's not, probably not going to be a long vlog today at all. But yeah, stopped at Alderton. Didn't really stop. We just kind of sat by the side of the road with a nice little river. And yeah, just got some food on board, got rehydrated, and off we went again to tackle the last 30 miles. And at this time we stopped at about, was it 6? Probably around 6ish. Set off again about, just gone 6. Set off again about 6:30. And yeah, because we left St Regis at about 3 in the end, close to 3 really. So cycled for about 3 hours down to Alderton, and then set off again in the hope that it would only be 2.5 hours. But we finally got on the road. sorry, 6 I want to say all this. Without James, there's no other like bounce off, so it's all must be dead air time what I'm saying. But yeah, and James got his first. It felt like he was missing out having after I got 4 punches in 3 days, and he got his first puncher, just to level the playing fields, and so that was a bit of a bummer. But replaced that and got on our way again. Before yet again, after about 30 minutes, he was like, "Is my back tire flat?" And I was like, "Yeah, it looks like it." So again, he replaced his tire, and then with about 10 miles to go, he said, "Is it flat again?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is." And he was going very slowly, and it looked like he's struggling. And of course, with a flat tire, you really do go a lot slower. It's just like that much effort to keep the wheels moving at all, let alone kind of roll down a hill. It's so frustrating. And so I said, "Oh yeah, don't worry, we can change it again." But it turns out he'd only brought 2 spares, which was probably a bit silly. But so he had to ride on that the whole way in, which really slowed us down. And thankfully, David stayed up until like 9:15 to see us in. And it was so painful because it was literally 4 miles to the turn off and then 4 miles to his house. And eventually got to the turn off and took our time going through the city. And there were Subways and Burger Kings and Wendy's, and there was another really American thing there. I've forgotten what it was. There was, because Wendy's is the first time I've seen that. Which I quite wanted to go down, and I was saying James, I could demolish 2 footlongs right now. But anyway, all we wanted to do was just get in, have a warm shower. So we went down, carried on going past all this, and got into David's house finally. And he kept saying it was the one next to the condo, and there were several houses next to the condo, so we were like, which one? And anyway, that was a bit of a faff, but we found it. He kind of had to be there, I guess. But yeah, eventually he came out to find us and showed us up the stairs, his apartment, which was lovely, and he showed us in. We got showers, got beers on board, lovely local beers, and they do their what are they called, shandies with ginger ale here instead of lemonade, and so we had one of those, and that was delicious, and got some chicken and potato salad on, and just absolutely ravenous after our rides. I ate a load of that, and had a shower as well. And I now, like, because the one pair of bib shorts that I have that are from China are just rubbish. I get so much saddle sore from it. So I'm wearing these every day now, and so I literally like shower with them, kind of wash them in the shower, and then hang them up, so they're hanging up behind me, just to save time and effort, and also of asking the host if I can use a washing machine or whatever. And yeah, but regardless, even with those nice shorts, actually the saddle sores are really bad, like literally rubbing the skin raw in places that are probably best not to mention, but really unpleasant. And yeah, pretty much we stayed up for a while talking. It's now about 11:30, 11:45, and just want to get to bed. It was really hard. I got some cushions off the sofa and laid them out on the floor, and all I wanted to do was fall asleep, let alone, I just could not be bothered to get up and stretch, let alone film this. But doing it for the memories and for anyone who's interested in what it's like day to day. But yeah, to be honest, it was quite nice coming in at a slower pace. I didn't really mind that, because after the miles that we're trying to cover, it's probably best not to overdo it, especially with knees going and all of that. We've got a big day tomorrow, 120 miles onto Helena. Probably stick on the I-90 again, just because we know what that road is, and then hopefully won't see any issues, and we'll get up early for that. Try and be out the door for 8, but then it's a 12-hour day still, so we'll probably only arrive there for 8. So So it's really tough mentally because the next week is all 100 plus mile days, every single one, and it's only in 7 days time when we get a 60-mile day, which is like a half day really, because we obviously had to take that rest day in Spokane for James's knee, and now it's and now we don't have that rest day in Bozeman, so we've got a long stint now to get through. Hopefully she'll be able to get through it. James is talking about getting his flight pushed back just so if needs be we have a bit of flexibility to take a rest, to recover, because we only really have actually one full rest day in Chicago planned. Aside from that, it's all pretty flat out. I mean, some short days here and there. Goodness knows we've done enough elevation over the past few days, especially in the Rockies here. We deserve some downhills and tailwind. Although there wasn't any headwind today, so can't complain on that front. But yeah, time to go off and get about 6 hours sleep before waking up early tomorrow morning. This probably won't be uploaded till later because all I have is 3G right now. Don't have any Wi-Fi, and there's a lot of 3G to upload a video like this. So yeah, see you tomorrow.